So today's topic is the rise of materialism over spirituality. In the modern times, we can see that there is an increasing rise of the power in terms of only and only wealth. There is no importance of spirituality. For example, nobody sees what is the actual character of the person. Everybody looks into his bank's account in order to judge how good the person is. Now, how good a person is has got no correlation with how much money the person has in his bank account. So that we are deliberate to think that a person who is rich, who comes in luxurious cars, is good. In the contrary, he might be a devil. So, there is the importance of spirituality in the modern times. We must look into the soul and nourish the soul for our own good. For without soul, without the nourishment of the soul, we can never utilize the wealth. Even if we accumulate it after all our investments, we can never actually enjoy it to the fullest extent. The purpose of acquiring wealth is only to make our lives better. It is not that we collect money for showing someone, because money itself is useless. Unless and until money is used in a proper way, we can never be happy. Spending it on drugs, alcohol will never give us as much satisfaction if we simply nourish our soul. Perhaps if we can nourish our soul, for example, in the modern times, the yoga is one of the ways which we can use to nourish our soul. Another one is the use of knowledge. The use of knowledge means the proper knowledge, like how should we lead our life, at what time we should be getting up from the bed, at what time we should be eating. These are all the knowledge that can help us to lead a healthy and happy life, as well as to nourish our soul at the same time. We must also nourish our intellect and mind as well. By intellect, I mean the ability to analyze and critically see a problem and to solve it. This faculty of the mind needs to be exercised by solving various puzzles, various problems, like math problems. And there are also faculties of the mind, like the emotional problems. We must always uh, practice handling our emotions when we are alone, or we may actually find some counselor in order to project our emotions in a better way. Thus, it will lead to a healthier life as far as the mind is concerned. We will be able to make better judgments, we will have less regrets in later life. Another thing is that taking care of the body. Now, body is actually the accumulation of what we eat in the long term of our life. We are born like a small baby, and then we eat and eat, and and after 20 years we are all adult life. Now, this body needs certain care. We have to lead a life according to um, proper timing. Like, for example, we need to wake up at certain times, eat at certain time. If this can be followed, our lifespan may not be, prolonged for that much, but whatever we may lead, it will be a healthier one, or it may also prolong our lifespan as well. But the main thing is to lead a healthier life in the long run, and for that we must stop hankering after money. Instead of hankering after wealth, we must hanker after our health. We must look after ourselves and our parents and our family and our society. This can only be done if we introduce some form of consciousness of that we are itself our soul. We and soul are not different things. We are a soul. If we are a soul, then what is this intellect, the mind, and the body? Now, these are the faculties that were created during the times of, say, evolution, or given by nature, so that we can do some good to the society. We have only come for a short period of time, If we don't take advantage of these faculties, then we might be as good as any lower, or maybe as inferior as any lower animals. If we are not able to use our memory or our other faculties of mind in a constructive way, and we only the sufferer of these faculties, like if we suffer our own memory, something bad happened to our past and we are still suffering because of that, that is only the suffering of the memory. That thing was a past, nobody is coming now to hurt us. It was an incident, now it has only become as a memory. That memory itself is harming us, so it's gone forever. But the memory is still in our mind, it is stored in our hippocampus. The long term memory residing in our hippocampus, that is the thing that is making us to go crazy. Another thing is the anxiety for the future. What will happen in the future? We can never be sure. We can only approximate what can happen depending upon our own knowledge, our own intellect, our own experience, which for young people is negligible. So, our anxiety may be a great hindrance in the progress of our life. We may need to deal with our anxiety in a very thoughtful and very careful way, because anxiety can itself precipitate catastrophe despite having everything in life. So we need to control our nerves and think properly. For that matter, first of all, we must realize that we are soul and intellect and the mind as a whole. Mind means the higher faculties like memory, the uh, capability to understand language, etc. These are all have been given to us as a gift. They are gifts, much like our senses, like capability to hear, capability to see, capability to taste. They are all gifts. Ask a blind man what it is to be without any eyes. Then only we will be able to appreciate what is the value of eyes. We take granted our vision all the time, but only if we are made to walk for a certain distance, if not for 24 hours with our eyes closed. We can never understand the real values of eyes. Simply said, if we want to know the value of something, we may need to lose it first. But why are we waiting to lose that first? Because we may not gain. Because a patient with stroke may not be able to talk ever again. Then only the stroke patient understands the capability, the importance, the gift that he has been enjoying all his life, the capability to speech, to communicate his emotions. And but by the time he realizes this, all is gone, all is lost. He can never speak anyway. So we need to understand that we need to nourish the soul. For that, we need to be very conscious of our state of being soul. And for that, meditation is a good way, but there are also higher forms of meditation, like doing bhakti, the bhakti marg, or God consciousness. By God consciousness, we can reach a higher form of consciousness which will be able to tell us that the things that we see are actually only materialistic. Maya. The Maya means which is not but which exists in front of us. Means it's just an illusion. Now, there can be a thing that there can be a problem, like what is life? The thing about life is that it is a temporary thing. It is like a curtain that covers our impending death. We are progressing toward our graves, but we don't know when we will fall dead and grave. So life is like an illusion, a curtain in the face of the death. So we need to do this immediately right now. The society needs a God conscious society. Thank you.